Alrighty. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everybody doing? I am Karen Chug, live streaming from Hong Kong. For those of you who have not been watching us today, we have a special guest, Neda, and we have something very important to share with you. And I wanted to let Neda, my wonderful, wonderful mentor, to share her name, who is she, and then we'll continue on with our conversation later today. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Karen. It's so nice to be talking to you from Hong Kong. It's 8 o'clock Toronto time in Canada. I'm coming to you from Toronto, Canada. I see you have put like your MBA and so many things, which is great. I'm a professional engineer by degree as well, but then because of the current situation in Iran, I haven't been doing lives in a long time, almost since end of December. So this is the very first one. For all of the people who are watching this from everywhere in the world, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for praying. We're going to talk about that. And I'm a mother. I do have 2 children. I started this business when they were 4 years old. Now they are 10 years old. And I'm very passionate about this business from many ways. So we'll go through everything and discuss everything. And I'm so honored to be your coach, a coach of such an intelligent woman like yourself, Karen.
No, it's really my blessing. Now, for those of you who are watching live or watching a replay, I want to take a moment to let everybody know what's happening in Iran right now. We're not just Chinese, Iranians, Canadians, Americans. We're all one part of a wonderful world. And it's important for us to know what's actually happening in the world and how we can offer support. So I want Neda to inform the audience what exactly is going on for those of you who may not be keeping up with the news. So Neda.
Yes. So usually when there is a war, the war is between 2 countries. Right now, the war is, between Iranian government, which is a very evil Islamic regime, trying to enforce, a lot of laws from 6th centuries to modern Iranian people who are like very, very educated. Just before the revolution of Iran in 1979, Iran was one of the most very, very modern countries in the world. Unfortunately, due to the Islamic revolution, this evil regime came in power, and they have got worse and worse. I left maybe around 24 years ago, but then there was an uprising in December because, they spend a lot of their monies on very bad things, like, supporting the terrorism, supporting the Hezbollah, and so many evil things, just because they are evil and they are bad and they are following Satan, and they are killing the young people and women and children in the name of God. No God in no religions allows that. Only the God Satan will allow that. So what's happening is people of Iran want freedom, so they are protesting in the streets. And it's creating a lot of unrest right now in Iran. They have killed thousands of kids, young people less than 30 years old, women, innocents. So far 90,000 people. That's a lot of people. Usually that's what happens in a war over 10 years long. Not in 2 days. They have done that in 2 days. What they're doing to women, because they think women who are taken and they kill these women with bullets, and this is sick. I can't even explain it. It just makes me so sick, is that they think that they have to get advantage of the body of these women, and in order to hide the sickness of what they're doing to these women, first of all, if they want to give the body back to the families, for men, they charge you like thousands of dollars just to give you the body back, and then if it's women, they take like a part of their bodies out, so it doesn't show exactly how much they damage these women. So they have done a lot. Like what they have done, somebody was saying that, well, this is like they're animals. I said, no, animals don't do that. No animals do that. They're not animals. They're evil. They're Satan. They are like they're dark. I just don't know what, like, only the followers of Satan would do something like that. So yeah, we're just calling up to God, because we know that at the end of the day, light always comes and takes the darkness away. I know every act of kindness will pushes the darkness away. So please try to be kind to one another. You know, we are, as human, are the only creatures in the whole universe, and many universes, that have free will. And this is what we have done to ourselves, because Earth wasn't supposed to be like this. You know, there are blood on the Tehrans and all the other cities of Iran on the streets. You know, there are young children, 2 years old, 3 years old, women who are running for their life. So there's a lot of emotional trauma just by seeing those videos. I haven't posted a lot of you know, the disturbing videos, because it just makes me so down. But there are so many of them in Instagram. So anybody who's watching this, all I can ask for as an Iranian Canadian is just to please be kind. And because every act of kindness, every act of good deed pushes the darkness away. And there are so much darkness in the world right now, like what's happening with the regime of Iran. And what I want to ask you is to also to pray for Iranian people to be able to win over this evil regime, and can kick this people, you know, somehow outside the country, and they can redeem their freedom back again. That's all. As an Iranian, myself and many Iranians are praying for, that, you know, we can win over this evil regime.
Mm-hmm. And if I may, I'm a Christian, so if I may have your permission to pray together.
Yes. Yes.
Because I do believe in the power of collective prayers, right? So Father God, we don't know what is going on, and only you're the one who could see in the supernatural realm. As Neda mentioned, these are things that are done by the Satans and the followers of Satans. Please do what you can, and we know that you can, in your almighty power, to protect the innocent, to offer peace, to really have a shield in front of those who deserve your love, support, and even reveal yourself supernaturally to those who need your support and love. And we know that many have testified that you are there, you're there supernaturally, and you guide them out of the desert land and the war land. So we as humans, we have no idea what's going on, but you do. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray and praise you for doing what you are already put in place to help the innocent, to really revive this country and let the devils be cast out. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray and praise. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much.
No, thank you for sharing with the audience. And I think I've heard from other Iranians that internets are being taken down. Like there's no form of communication. Is that still the case?
It's back on again, but they every time they want to do something evil like that, they just you know, shut down the internet so they can do whatever they want to do, and the world don't know about it. Yes, they have done that in the past. Now it's back on, but who knows? You know, if there is a war going on or something, I'm sure it's going to happen again.
So in addition to prayers, what other activities could be done in order to support those who are stuck inside?
Lots of like activities, signing so many petitions. Iranians all around the world, they have come to, you know, widespread protests in Canada, like in Toronto, in Vancouver. I'm sure you have seen the videos. I myself have attended every single one of them, even though the last one was at -20. It was really cold in Toronto, but I did it. You know, and then we're trying to, you know, to get together, unify, you know, and signing the papers, because a lot of these evil people's, their sons, their daughters, their family members are in Canada, United States, or Australia, like, you know, enjoying the freedom of the Western countries, where you know, the parents killing the young people for just having the same freedom their family members are having. So a lot of things are going on in the background, but I think, you know, for every war to win for people, they need to be like equipped with guns and stuff. You know, you can't just fight a government who just shoots out the bullets into your head with stone, and, you know, with empty-handed. So they need to be getting some sort of like, or they need to be armed. they need to be armed so that they can take control of the city. So I hope it happens, because these guys are not like the king, exiled king of Iran who just left. He was so educated. He was so such a good person. He just left. These people are evil. They will kill until the last child and woman before they are forced to leave. So they're not going to leave. So they're going to fight back. They're going to put the bullets in people's heads. So people need definitely to be armed. And, I just hope there is, help on the international level. And, we just have to pray and keep doing what we're doing, and just, knowing that situations are not going to stay like that. Look at all the dictatorships in the world. Look at Saddam Hussein. Look at 𝗵𝗵𝗃 in Libya. Look at every single dictator. What happened to them? How they got captured, and what happened to them? Hitler. So there's going to be a very bad ending for these evil people, but then they're going to do a lot of damage before they finally go. So
yes,
we just have to unite together. We're trying to raise awareness, not just amongst Iranians who are suffering, but also amongst every single person who might even do prayers, do something to, be able to help.
Yeah, and this is very important, because awareness is the first step, right? And not everyone watches the news these days because it's just too negative. And the other thing is seeking support from global leaderships, right?
Yeah.
And really, like, it will start with attention, followed by traction, and then traction will lead into community pressure, because all human being is sick and tired of seeing injustice and innocent people being impacted. And I think we have to push forward in making sure that our global leaders are stepping in, as opposed to crossing their arms and watching on the sideline. So it's important to keep the conversation going. And I'm glad that you're able to participate in the Canadian protest, and then letting more people aware of it. And I know that a lot of Hong Kongers in Canada also support the event, because not just, like I said, not just Hong Kong people, every human being deserves to have freedom. Every human being, no matter age, their background whatsoever, they have this blessing of living in this world for a purpose, and not to be suffering, not to be defeated. So so I'm with you all the way, and
thank you so much.
Pray, and
thank you so much.
definitely. No, thank you for
nice
letting everybody know. We have to keep praying collectively. It is not a one-time deal. It has to be an ongoing prayer.
Yes, so, absolutely. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much again. It really hurts my heart hearing how innocent people are being impacted, especially like kids, women. Like, people have no way of defending themselves, and that's the worst case. If you are fighting a good fight, then no argument about that. When you're fighting and really hurting those who can't fight back, that's not acceptable.
Absolutely true.
So let me know.
There's going to be some good days for Iranian people coming soon.
And from history, we've always seen that. Like, when we see everybody uniting together, miracles happen. That's when our unconditional support can lead into miracles. When we're all selfish and always looking out for ourselves, nothing can happen. And these evil things will only take turns among different group of people. So this could be a blessing in disguise that unite all of us in fighting against evil.
Yes, exactly. Because the fight of Iranian people against the regime is not just the fight of Iranians, it's the fight of every single people who have been victimized, in a sense, it's just not just for Iranians. So, so that's going to change, I'm sure.
Yeah. So one last word on that is, humanity can be defined by the global community. When we say enough is enough, that's when the positive process happens.
Yes, right? Absolutely. So, yes,
I will continue to pray for Iran and Iranians. This is definitely on my prayer list.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much.
Thank you for informing everybody. So we're going to switch gear a little bit. Today, we are so blessed to have Neda here and share her journeys of why a professional engineer decided to become a global digital business entrepreneur. So I've got a lot of questions put aside to ask Neda, but we're going to go with the flow and see how things go. So
Yes.
I know Neda is always ready. She was born ready. So I'm going to go with the first question.
I'm born ready.
Neda, born ready. Neda, as a professional engineer, how has your training shaped the way you think about opportunities and risks in general? Now, before you answer, I wanted to share that a lot of corporate Americas or even global corporate CEOs, they're professional engineers by training.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it tells you how much about professional engineers by training or by trade. So they're very analytical, they're very thoughtful, meticulous, and they will usually not take risk unless they know the returns on their efforts and investment and whatnot will come back with a positive ROI, return on investment. So Neda, how has your training shaped the way you think about opportunities and risk in general as a professional engineer?
Yeah, absolutely. I just always think about, the fact that I work on projects like a lot of engineers are like myself, like I do working on construction projects. And I know when the projects end, you have no income. So I was always thinking, you know what, when my project ends, I'm going to have to look for a new position. So then with kids and mortgage and all the expenses, what I'm going to do in between. So I need to look for something, that I can do beside my job. I never thought in my wildest dreams that I will be able to make more than my engineering salary one day. I never had a business. I never had any experience in any online businesses. So that wasn't something that I could even imagine. All I said, if in the best case scenario, I can make $2,000 a month. That's great. Like that's like super, super blessing. I have had days that in one day I have made more than $20,000 in one day, a lot more than that. So I think that the thing about the engineers, maybe we do have a lot of non-engineers in my team. I mean, I have over 10,000 people I'm coaching. Maybe there are 4 or 5 women engineers in my team, because women engineers, you tend to be very, very skeptical, very, very hard to convince. So, but for me, I just had this thing in my gut, I knew it. I was so excited about it. I was praying for it for a month before I start this business, before I see my ads, my mentor's ad. I had zero money to invest. But deep down in my heart, I knew that my prayers are going to be answered. So every single person, whether they're engineers or not, they have some sort of like internal compass. So all I can say that just rely on that, because your internal compass never tells lies. You always know deep down what is it that you need to do, even if you're not doing the right thing. You know that what is it that you need to do. And I knew that I had to do this business. I showed my husband everything. He was agreeing with me. He's like, very good. I'm like, I'm going to use my own money. I'm not going to use family's money just in case I make a mistake. But I had his support from day one, which was another blessing. But I had so many friends who were completely opposed of it, who were making fun of me, who were saying, you know what, okay, you go, and if you make money, we will join as well. And, things like that. I was, belittled. I was ridiculed. I was shamed by so many people who were saying, why an engineer want to have an online business? But then many of them years later either join or within this first year join. So yeah, so I think that's maybe one of the reasons I started this business in the first place.
And you mentioned your husband was very supportive.
Yes.
That's not usually the case, right? We see a lot of husbands. My husband's very supportive as well, but a lot of husbands, they're skeptical and they just don't want to take any further steps in understanding what this is about, right? So it's a good thing that your husband already support you with the green light, because otherwise that's another barrier that you have to break, in addition to learning this business and figuring things out. And
Yes.
before you ever start this global digital business, what beliefs did you already hold about systems, about long-term sustainability and work? Because I'm sure you already have a professional engineer job. You certainly don't want to work through something that is not sustainable or not established. So can you speak a little bit about that? Like
Yes.
system?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, to be honest with you, I wasn't too much thinking about the sustainability. I never knew like there is something like a fixed incentive earnings. I never I didn't know any of these things. But what I was thinking about and my first motivation was, is it flexible? I have kids. My kids go to bed at 9 and I'm dead tired at 9. I'm exhausted. Like how I'm gonna like go out and do Uber if that's the only way for me to have extra earnings. How I'm gonna learn something, go back to university, spend $150,000 for an MBA in order to learn something, in order to increase my earnings. So as I thought about it more and more, I'm like, I lost my hope. I'm like, there's nothing. I remember one day I'm like, you know what, I kept praying to God and I'm like, you know what, there's nothing. There's no way I can find anything, until I saw my mentor's ad. So ask yourself, does your situation allow you to go out and do another degree so that you can increase your earnings? Does your situation allows you to go and, after your kids are in bed or after your day job, because most of the people that start this business as a second source of income, and then later on when they get to 5 figures a month, which is over $10,000 a month, they switch to this job altogether. I'm one of the first, I think, craziest people who haven't done that yet. Like I still kept my job. I still love my job. I still love my project. I'm still here. But honestly, I think in the entire universe, there is nobody else who has such a big team, who is at the same level that I am, who's still keeping your job. I know there is no one, because last year when I saw the CEO of our company, and he wanted to see 5 people, and I was one of the 5. And then he said, why are you still keeping your job? You make a lot of money. Why are you still keeping your job? And I'm like, you know what? I love it. I just, I have always seen myself as an engineer. Even though this business is giving me a lot more than my salary, I still would like to keep it. So, so I think ask yourself, how flexible are your alternative options? If you don't have any other flexible options, then the only option you have is, to be honest with you, is something that is online, that is legitimate. And there's nothing better than this out there. There is nothing better than this out there. I'm telling you this.
And I'm telling you, I myself am one of the odd, hardworking person that people have repeatedly told me. I've never seen anyone as hardworking as me until now. Neda, you're crazy. Like you're a mom, you're a wife, you're a professional engineer, you are a seasoned coach, you are a global digital business entrepreneur who's so successful, making 7 figures. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, it has to be passion too, because if it's not driven by passion and love, then there's no way that a human being could possibly do all of that, without breaking down. So kudos to you. You're amazing. And I just love how you're helping so many people, and not just the people themselves. You're helping a lot of families. You're helping people who need help. I know you donate to a lot of third world countries and helping build schools and helping the disadvantaged kids. So that's also something that's really creating the ripple effect around the world. So I'm so grateful that I get to be your mentee. And
thank you.
And
thank you so much. It's my duty. That's all I can say. It's my duty.
It's amazing. Divine calling. And, as an engineer, what signals stood out to you, what others may have overlooked at the time? Like this was talking back a couple of years back, because you've been a global digital business entrepreneur for 6 years now, right?
Yes. 6 and a half.
So back then, most people are still not very keen on online shopping, making the most of the digital space. What actually stood out to you that led you to say, you know what, this is it? The intuition.
I think, the intuition for sure. But I remember my dad was in the hospital at that time. And I remember I kept talking to my friends to try, not to tell them so that they can make decisions for me. Even if my husband would say no, I would still have done this. I'm strong. I'm a strong person. When I make a decision, I stand by it. if it happens to be a wrong decision, I will meet the consequences. So you as a human should be able, unless you're 18 and 19, well, you can say you don't have maybe a lot of experiences, but if you're past 30, you should have had that experience to be put in situations that you make a decision and you meet the consequences of that. So even if my husband would have said no, I would still had started this business, but it was a blessing that he said yes, even though I use my own money. But then my friends, are always saying, oh, you shouldn't do this. Almost everybody, except for my husband, said, no, this is not for you. Like, you're not a salesperson. I'm like, well, there's no sales. I'm not supposed to talk to anyone. And they all kept saying, like, this isn't for you. An engineer would never need to do an online business. And these are the same people that now they're like, financially, 90% of them joined this business within the first year. But the worst ones, who are very, very skeptical, who were saying horrible things behind my back, and I would hear it from other people, they joined after 4 years, after 3 years. But the ones who didn't join are the ones who are really, really struggling, selling off their houses, living like a lot of, having a lot of debts and stuff like that. So what I can say is that, what I want to say, as an engineer or as just a normal person, whoever, you don't have to be. We have so many people who are in this business who are so successful, who are just like stay-home moms, right? There's so many people who are retired people, who are like past 70, past 75, past 67. They are who got to the point they're making more than $10,000 a month. So it's what differentiates the people from one another is how much faith in how they have in the business and how much consistency they have and the efforts that they put into the business. And I can say, I think maybe engineers are a little bit more tougher cookies, especially myself, who have worked in the field so much. I don't like to be defeated. I don't like, to admit failure. I keep trying and trying and trying, and I did have a very, very hard time in the first, I would say, 4 months of the business. I was doing every single wrong thing that one person would potentially be able to make. But the silver lining of that is that I learned. You have to keep trying different things and, learning, gaining the experience, and trust us, if you don't have confidence, you will gain confidence in this business, because you will learn so much, you will gain confidence. But whether you have faith in the business or not, well, you will know that within the first week of joining the 30-day trial, by looking at the products, what they offer, what these products will do for you, why the compensation plan is so amazing, how it can save so much of your time, and allows you, the automated system allows you to do other things while you're taking care of your family. So there are so many good things about it. But what scares the people of Karen is not the question you quite asked me, is that they say, can I do it? Can I do this business? Am I going to be successful or not? The answer is absolutely yes. If you stick long enough, if you stick around long enough. I have so many people in my team who start in November. By end of November, they're like, oh, I don't know if I can do it anymore. I'm like, it's been only 3 weeks. You have only done 10% of your training, keep going, finish the training, finish what you start. If those kind of people are the same people who go and start anything else, they're going to struggle. I have a yoga teacher that I really admire. His name is Kyle. And he says, he stands by the door and he looks at the people and how they, when they come into the studio, how they organize their shoes. And just by the way they put their shoes away, he learns so much about them. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. If you're someone who just comes into a business, leaves after 3 weeks, go to the gym, leaves after 1 month, go to a relationship, ends the relationship, that's the way you will do everything. And if you are kind of a person who, starts something and you do not give up, you keep trying, you keep trying, you keep trying, you keep going, even when everything seems dark and like, there's no light, but you keep going and you keep going until you see the light at the end of the tunnel, then the chances are you're going to be also very successful in your career. If you don't have a career, maybe you're a stay-at-home mom, you will be very successful in raising kids. You will be very successful in having your relationship with yourself, with your spouse, with your parents. So the way you do one thing is the way you do everything.
Totally. I remember the analogy you shared with me. It was going to the gym. Going to the gym for a day or week and expecting the perfect athlete, body. It's just nonsense. So the
Yes.
same idea, everything that we go through, even learning alphabets takes time, and learning everything takes time. And the beauty of this business is that it's so simple, it's systematic, and the blueprint for success is so clearly laid out. And that takes away 90% of the thinking, right? Whereas it's similar to franchise. There's a structure, there's blueprint, except that you can do it whenever you want, as opposed to you having to go to the physical store 9 to 9 and then expecting customers to come or not, right? So
Yes.
I love the fact that this is not like any other business online that I've seen. I actually look for a couple of them. Like there's the Amazon by FBA, fulfillment by FBA. There's just so many pieces, variables. You have to deal with customers, deal with inventory, deal with logistics, deal with shipping delays. Like there's just so much, right? And it's not like if you work hard, all of these moving variables would be working smoothly. No, these are just moving pieces, variables that will impact how everything will work out. So I love how this global digital business is so simple, so systematic, and it leads you to a dreamland where if we go through the traditional route of doing things, you have to grind not just hours or years, multiple lifetime in order to reach that end goal.
100%. Yes, 100%.
So it's just amazing how this business model works, and the commission models. And for those of you who are new watching this, Neda mentioned about products. Like products are not what we sell to customer. We don't sell customers or having to deal with customers. So you need to find out more if you're curious about it, because it takes about 2-3 hours to understand the whole ingenious business and commission model. That's why when people ask, what's this business about? Well, if you're curious about it, then watch the introductory videos, do your homework, and understand it in details. Don't expect someone to tell you the whole movie without you watching it. Like, it's like people watch the trailer. If this resonate with them, then they'll watch the whole movie. Same idea. Don't expect people to tell you everything. That takes 2 to 3 hours to elaborate, because with the mindset that traditional society teach us, it's hard to comprehend this ingenious business commission model. That's why most people would have to watch a couple of times, including me. Like I speed learn a lot of things, but the commission model, I watch it a couple of times in order to let it sink. And I'm like, whoa, this is exponential calculation method. This is amazing, right? So it's important to do that step. And this is not overnight success business. No, there's nothing out there. If anybody tells you that you're going to win overnight, that's highly likely a scam. Okay? So make sure people, if you're looking for something, then do a due diligence. So the next question I have for Neda is, let me see. Okay, how has your life changed since you've incorporated this global digital business into your professional and personal life? How has your life changed?
Yeah. So the first thing that changed was my bank account.
Yeah.
Because when we started this business, everything was really hard. We just moved into this house. If it didn't have kids, I wouldn't start this business. I wouldn't be here, and you wouldn't be here. They are one of the reasons that I started this business, because we moved into this house, and the mortgage and everything just hit us. We're like, oh my gosh, there's no way we can afford something like this, and I need to find something, extra. And I was just looking for $2,000 a month. I never thought in my wildest dreams that I will be making that, I will making more than my engineering salary in the first year of starting a business. Usually when you have a business, it takes 2 years, 3 years for you just to learn, the basics of the business, and then just get your money back. Here, you can get your, depending on how much you invest and how much you put into it. We have had some people in my team who have got to, 5 figures. 5 figures is more than $10,000 a month within 3 or 4 months. We have some people who got there, like myself, in 9 months. We have people who got there in 3 years. It just all matters, depends on like how busy you are and, how much you put into this business, how, much faith you have from the beginning, and a lot of other things, right? How much support you get at home, how much time you have for the training and everything else. So the bank account changed so much. As a result of that, we started living more comfortably. I remember very well before we started this business, we wanted to get a patio set for our house, and we didn't have money. We're like, no patio set, nothing, just go out, stay in the deck. That's it, just to stand there. And people don't believe those things, right? After like I started this business and I started making money, I'm like, now we have money, we can go get it. I really wanted to get some many things, Persian carpet. I wanted to get a nicer bed for our house. So many things. And money can bring a lot of comfort to your life. So that's one thing. I learned to be more patient. I'm still not as patient as I should. It's really hard to deal with some personalities. Some people are just so, impatient. Like they send me a message, let's say at like 10 p.m., 1 a.m., like literally 3 hours after, they're like, you're not responding. You're not responsible person. You're this. I'm like, you know what? You message someone at 10 p.m. They must be sleeping at this time. At 1 a.m., you're just like, it's not been even 24 hours. You're expecting a result, like an answer. Like, how do you do that? You didn't even wait 24 hours. Like, just wait 24 hours before you make judgments. People make judgments extremely quick. Like, and so many things. I have come across and I deal with so many people, so many men, so many women. From 19 years old, 18 years old, all the way to 80 years old, that, that now it's kind of like, I feel like I'm like a psychic. Somebody comes to me because people who have similar trends seem to have, similar personalities. They seem to have similar trends. Like I can, just by looking at someone, I can say if they are suffering from depression. By listening to their voice, I can see that over the phone if I listen to them just for 2 minutes. By saying specific words they say or it comes out of their mouth, I can say so much about them because I have been in the situations that I heard those words and I happen to know what happens next. And human beings just all like show the same trends when they have similar, behaviors. So I know people. I can say I know people. I know I know body languages. I predict so many things about people. People call me Prophet Neda. People who work with me are like, you tell us what you think, and I'm like, okay, give me 2 minutes, and I'm like, this is what's gonna happen. They're like, and 6 months later, they're like, how did you know? I'm like, experience dealing with different people, so many people, such a big turnaround, so many people, coaching so many people. So that's a good thing and a bad thing. Because, it's a lot of times I want not to know things about people, but then I just get to know because I get an overload of information. So it's bad and it's good. But then if I want to use it, just to understand some things, it helps. And it also helps me to be more patient and have an expectation of how, I'm supposed to talk to this person. And also because of the blessing of this business, I have been able to help the people of my country in Iran. I have built so many schools in Iran. I have supported and am supporting so many kids who are orphans or who have parents who are like, drug addicts. They have left them. They need money for clothing, they need money for dental work, they need money for schooling. As a result of that, I have been able to do that. And I feel like I'm so blessed that God has given me this opportunity to help other people, because it's not just for that person who receives help that he or she has received a blessing, it's also for the person who gives help. That has been a blessing to her for being, the messenger of the blessing. And I'm so grateful for doing that, because I feel like I'm a tough cookie. I stood up in front of all these people who called me scam or called this business a scam. I proved to them that this is not scam. As a result of that, I got this business to the point that I started generating a lot of revenue. And as a result of that, I was able to give back to other people. So what you do with this business is not only going to change your life, it's going to change many lives. That's all I can say.
And that's the amazing part of this business, not just looking at the immediate needs, but looking at, like I said, the ripple effect and how we can change and impact the world positively. And if we were to go through, again, the traditional route, it is hard. Like, even if we make $1 million, after tax, you have $500,000, you spend that on here and there, then you can only support church and support this. You can't really go to the extent where you mentioned that so many lives are touched, right? So so and you mentioned all the benefits that you've earned through this global digital business, tangible and non-intangible, like in terms of love and support. If someone is curious about this business, what exactly should and could they do before they take the next steps?
Yeah, absolutely. They should just send us their email address. The reason we get their email address is not because we want to scam them. You can't, you're not scamming people with their email address. We ask for their email address so that we can register them on our website and see if we could be their mentor or coaches, because there are thousands of people in our community, and they might have given their email address to someone else. So first we ask if what their email address is, if they were not registered with someone else, and we could be their mentor or coach. Then we would be able to send them the link to the webinar. The webinar is 90 minutes, and it didn't convert me. It wasn't the reason, my coach was Canadian, so there wasn't anything besides the webinar available to me. And I had to watch 3 webinars so that I feel like it is something that I could trust. The first one, I didn't like it. The second one, I didn't like it. But the third one, I was like so moved by it. So it's very important that if you watch one webinar and you didn't like the panelists, just watch another one, and listen to people's stories. At some point, you will find someone that you can, feel like you can click with, right? And but for myself, because I do speak Persian, every single person who reaches out to me and asks for more information, I have a series of around 20, 30 videos that I have prepared that gives them all the details of, how the tax of this business is going to be, how the training is going to be, whether they have to use their face or not, whether they can use AI or not. What is the 30-day trial? What's going to happen in the 30-day trial? Is this a pyramid scheme? If not, why not? Why it's not an MLM? Why it's not a traditional MLM, and things like that. So I send these to them, so in Farsi or Persian, and let them watch the webinar. And then I say, do your research. I always ask someone who comes to the 30-day trial or who does the coaching call with me, how long do you know me? And I get really scared when they say, oh, I only know you for 1 week. I'm like, oh, no, I just don't want that. I would love to hear when people say, oh, I have been seeing you, I have been following you for 2 years, for 3 years, because then I know that, they have watched so many interviews, just like the one you and I are doing, Karen. And, if this was a scam, like a lot of people think online businesses are, it wouldn't last so long, 51 years. And they have seen firsthand my page, all my lives, all my videos for many, many years to come. So it gives them more social proof that this is something tangible and legit that they can go for. And then also, I always tell them before, when they're going to come to the 30-day trial, like, this business requires investment, and it's not free and it's not cheap. You are looking at least around $3,000-4,000, right? But, relatively compared to other businesses is nothing, is really nothing. And, we have people who have got to the first level of fixed monthly income of $5,000 and their initial investment was $4,000. So within 4 years, they got to the fixed level of income, and they're getting $5,000 a month for life. And they all started at 4,000. So we have so many people who are like that, right? You just have to be willing to invest. Every business requires investment. The cost of the training material they provide you, and the mentorship and the coaching and the website and this and that is more than $25,000, right? The products you're receiving are amazing. Yes, they are more expensive than the competitors' products, because the competitors' products are just products. There's no business linked to it. Here you get the business and the products, so it kind of produces like some sort of like a passive income for you. So
Absolutely.
there's a lot of reasons why this business is amazing, and I just hope that everybody does their own research, watches the videos, and I pray that they just follow their gut feeling, because gut feeling always shows you and tells you what to do. And this business is amazing. So a lot of gut feelings and compasses goes toward this business. Do it.
I 100% agree with you. I actually, after searching online, what are the opportunities available? There was one night I prayed hard, and I was like, God, come on. I don't want to deal with all these moving pieces. I don't want to deal with inventory. I don't want to deal with customers. I don't want to deal with all of these logistical challenges, because I've been there, done that. I just, like when I was at teaching hospital. So I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. And I said, I pray to God, I know you know what is too good to be true. When it's something too good to be true, it has to come from you. And the very next day, he revealed to me. As a matter of fact, I was speaking to Sagar, who's a real estate agent for luxurious homes, and her company was consulting me for AI implementation. And as we were talking about AI, she somehow popped in like online business. I think randomly, I don't know why. And for that very moment, I said, pause. Let's not talk about your AI project. Let's talk about this online business. And that's how, and she started, she was new too. She gave me enough pieces that allow me to connect the dots. I'm like, this is it. This is it. This is that too good to be true business model, commission model. So like you said, I follow the Holy Spirit, what people call intuition, and the rest was history. I was able to get my high ticket commission within a month or two, like very quickly. And we're not even talking about, most people like, oh, you probably get like $10, $20. No, I get in the thousands. Just I'm like, mind blown, because if I was back in like 20 some years as a hospital pharmacist, after tax, we probably make about $3,000 maybe, or $3,000.
Yes.
And this check was pretty much it. Like, I'm like, come on. For all the schooling, for all the internship, for all the hands-on experience, for all the hardship, for all the stress that you have to deal with. This is crazy. And again, money is just a vehicle. Money gives us the options to choose how we spend our time. Do we want to spend our time with things that we don't think matters, or we want to spend with our family? Like right now, I'm visiting my parents because they matter to me most. Right? My parents are aging. They're at a stage where I'm like, time is going faster, even faster than ever, right? And I don't want to miss out. I don't want the model where we have to work through life until we reach 65. Then we get to visit our parents outside of country. We get to do things we like. No, by then we probably would be physically challenged and not capable of doing things that we love. So I'm so grateful that while I'm here visiting my parents, I'm able to keep up with my global digital business. I don't feel guilty anymore, because when I was working for corporate, I feel, well, they kept calling me long distance. So, and then I felt guilty for having to respond like 12 hours later, as opposed to after my vacation. You know what I mean? We're chained to corporate. So it's now 2026. We're in the age of AI. And the digital space is where all the global activities happen. So if you're not tapping into the space yet, you need to take a closer look, because before you know it, you're going to be falling behind. So it's important to even be informed about what this is about, right? And Neda, you've done so much for everybody, and I wanted to ask you, you love your job as well as an engineer. Do you foresee yourself one day giving that up and
But
just
possible.
focus on it?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
and you don't know, right? Yeah, and for sure you're gonna be continuing helping and thriving in this global digital business. And I think you probably even teach your kids how to do it, right? Because as soon
Yes,
as they
yes,
turn 18, then
yes, yes.
they could become, yes. And
Absolutely. As soon as they become legal age.
yes, legal age, because we have people aging 18 and all the way to 80 something,
Yes.
80 something who started this business. Now we're getting into the last 10 minutes. I like to ask you last couple of questions. If you
Sure.
could go back and speak to yourself before you started this global digital business, what would you tell yourself?
Before I start this business,
Yeah, so if you had to go back, if you had the chance to go back and tell yourself before you started this business, what would you tell yourself? What would you advise yourself?
I just not to listen to any of your friends, which I
Yeah.
didn't. I shouldn't even
Yes.
have told them that, because just telling them that got my energy, and um, it's better when you start something new. Like Jeff Bezos always says, nobody should know about it.
Yeah.
Only tell your spouse, or someone who is like a decision maker for your family. You might not be working like me, and you may not, have it. I didn't have a saving. I just used my credit card, my line of credit to pay for this. It's not like some people say, oh, you're an engineer, you had a lot of money. No, I did not. I didn't have a mentor or a coach who was Persian, so I had no idea if this business is going to work for Persians. So that was a big certain uncertainty. So like, it's not like I was seeing Neda and I was seeing Najma and I was seeing thousands of Persians, and I'm like, okay, so if there are 10,000 Persians, so I'm going to make it too. There was like very few, and they were like very, very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have us as your role model. So you have lots of things to learn from us. We have paved the path for you, so which is great. B, and I should not even have told anybody. Like I told my friends, one of the ladies who actually did the speech for in my wedding, and she was like, oh my gosh, this is a pyramid scheme, I can't believe you're getting involved. I'm like, no, it's not pyramid. Pyramid is illegal. It's
Yeah.
not pyramid, because in pyramid, the person at the top who came before you always have earnings from your efforts. In this business, at this point, this person is cut out. They
Yeah.
make a penny from you, they make nothing from you. So it's not a pyramid scheme, and this is why it's allowed. And in pyramid schemes, the person who comes first always makes more money than you. But for example, between me and my mentor, between me and my coach, I have surpassed my mentor. If this was a pyramid scheme, I would never be able to surpass her. Your job is a pyramid scheme because you can never surpass your boss. You can never replace your boss. That's a pyramid scheme, because he will always be making more money than you. But this business is not a pyramid scheme. So there were so many judgments. So I all I can say is that I wish I didn't do that even, but maybe their determination in the fact that I'm making the biggest mistakes in the world and I shouldn't be doing this business made me even more motivated to get started. But all I'm saying to you guys, if just do the compensation research, go to YouTube, go to internet. When you get to the 30-day trial, just search the name of the company, and of course you're going to see a lot of bad reviews. I can send you 100 links of bad reviews about our business, about how iPads are such horrible devices, how Amazon is such a bad company, how Jeff Bezos is one of the worst people everybody hates, and this and that. There are bad reviews and bad comments from everybody in the world, just like the people I was just giving you in my own team who start 1st of November, and by 20th of November, they already lost their motivation, right? These are the same people, right, who go out and blame the world for their lack of success, right? We have these kind of people and personalities everywhere in the world. Just look around yourself, in your school, in your work, in your family. We always have those people. So I don't believe in those things. But then, I look at the compensation plan. I'm like, what,
Yeah.
it's
And we
flexible.
just have to
After
stay
job.
focused.
Yes, exactly. And have faith and see other successful people,
Looks
and
like
but
my internet is going choppy.
I have you. I have you. I can still hear you. I
So
can
let me
still
see.
hear you. So
Yeah,
for those
okay.
of you,
Yeah,
those of
so I totally no, go ahead.
no, I'm just saying, like, people who come and say, I want to start this, but my friend says this, and my other friend says this, and my blah blah blah. I'm like, you know what? Go and ask them what business they offer you and do it. And I see you in 6 months, because I know you're gonna come back. Because I'm not a psychic, but it has happened so many times. So many times. People go for dirty, get rich quick schemes. The schemes that, they think, okay, it's low ticket. Oh, I just pay $180 and I just go and sell my friends life insurance. Like, oh, I just pay $120 and I just go and sell my friends shakes and multivitamins and this and that. So they fall for that because they think it's get rich quick. And then when they get themselves involved in those things, they're like, oh my gosh, now I'm going to make money. And, I have to talk to my friends. Oh, I have to pick up my phone and start calling everybody on my phone list, from top to, and then they're like, oh my gosh, this is why Neda's business and Karen's business is really worth it, because it's automated. You don't need to bug your friends. You don't need to bug your family. You don't need to talk to anybody. The system is doing everything for you. You just have to set it up, make a very damn good ad, and get it to YouTube, and he's going to do all the marketing for you. You just go and live your life,
Yes. I'm so how should I put it? I'm so inspired, and the fact of the matter is, I'm someone who likes to spread the good words, right? So when I see something good, like even a fine dine restaurant, I just go tell the world. So whether or not someone likes to eat sashimi, that's their choice, right? Because not everybody likes sashimi. So but I've done my by my share of sharing, so that people won't come back and say, hey, how come you never share with me? There's a great Japanese fine dine restaurant. Well, I did. Of course, it's all about personal choice. So last but not least, for those who's watching live or replay, if you want to find out more about this amazing global digital business, you can go to my website, www.𝗕HUKconsulting.com, and you'll have immediate access to complimentary videos that for mine is only 20 minutes. You can watch them. If any of those takeaway resonate with you, you can follow the step-by-step instructions and go through the process. And you can reach out to me, you can DM me, ask me any questions, and I can address it to let you know more about the business. And just so you know, the whole business model is very smart, and we have automation, we have video-based self-paced training, we have live training. No additional costs required if you become a global digital business. We have your website customized, your funnel page set up. Everything is so simple and set up for anyone who's got the desire of wanting more choices in life. If you are happy where you are, stuck with bills and debts and things that tie you down from your loved ones or whatever matters, then this is not for you. But if you're looking for more options, more flexibility, more help to others, like what Neda is doing, supporting your church, ministries, third world country kids, then this is something worth your attention to. So do what you need to do to understand more. Okay, so yes. On behalf of the audience, the global audience, thank you so much, Neda, for taking the time.
No problem.
Just so you know, everybody, Neda does not get a dime from me for doing this live. We're talking about an hour live, 60 minutes of her time. As a professional engineer, as a seasoned coach who's making 7-figure, like, she doesn't have to do this, right? And this tells you a lot about our global digital business community. We're here to help one another succeed so that we can help more people, more families, more kids. Everybody deserves a better way of living, not just grinding the hours in exchange for money. So thank you so much, Neda.
My pleasure.
And I will continue to share the good words of this business, and I will continue to pray for Iranians. We know that together we can make this a better world. Thank you so
yes.
much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for to everyone who's watching, and have a beautiful night. Bye bye. And morning. You're in Hong Kong. It's morning there.
Yeah, stay tuned. I'm gonna end the stream, but stay behind stage. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.